Pressure doesn't create your leadership, it reveals it. And if you've ever been in a season where the demands are high, the deadlines are tight, the expectations are conflicting, and everyone is looking to you for answers, you know exactly how hard it is to stay calm, steady, and Christ-like when the pressure is pushing you to the edge, or maybe even over the edge. But here's the surprising truth. Jesus did his greatest leadership under pressure. Not in peaceful moments, not in quiet miracles, but in conflict, betrayal, exhaustion, misunderstanding, and even chaos. If you're leading under pressure right now, this episode is 100% for you. Do you wish that you could lead your team in a way that honors and glorifies God? Are you struggling to overcome self-doubt as a leader and have a desire to be more confident in your role? Welcome to the Women of Faith in Leadership podcast. I'm Rika, and for the last decade, I've experienced my fair share of managing challenging employees and teams in middle management leadership roles. I committed my leadership journey to God, and it changed everything. And I'm ready to share everything I've learned with you. Now, if you're ready to lead your team in a way that honors God, grab that notebook and pen, and don't forget your chai latte, and let's dive in. Now, before we dive any deeper, if pressure has been making you doubt yourself, react emotionally, or second guess your decisions, the imposter syndrome blueprint will help you lead with calm, Christ-centered confidence, even in your hardest seasons. Simply go to womenoffaithinleadership.com/blueprint to learn more. Here's what pressure does to most leaders. It amplifies your insecurities, your fears, your emotional triggers, your people-pleasing tendencies, your desire to be liked, your worry about getting it wrong, and your habit of over-functioning. Suddenly, you're waking up or working longer hours, saying yes when you should be saying no, absorbing other people's stress, taking responsibilities for things that aren't yours, and reacting instead of responding. Pressure makes good leaders feel like they're falling apart. And it makes Christian leaders feel guilty that they're not more spiritual in difficult moments. But here's what you need to hear. Pressure doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. And Jesus taught us exactly how to lead through it. So let's talk strategy. Here are 4 ways Jesus modeled leadership under pressure and how you can follow his example. Number 1. Jesus slowed down when everything around him sped up. When the crowds were demanding, when the disciples were anxious, when needs were overwhelming, Jesus withdrew. And in those moments, he prayed, he paused, and he reset. Pressure makes you want to move faster, but wisdom tells you to slow down. Spirit-led leadership moves from peace, not panic. Ask yourself, what do I need to pause before I decide? Where do I need to breathe before I respond? Slowing down is not weakness. It's actually alignment with the way Jesus led. Number 2, Jesus didn't absorb everyone's emotions. Jesus was surrounded by anxious disciples, fearful crowds, needy people, angry religious leaders, and unpredictable situations. But he never let other people's emotions control his leadership. He stayed steady, calm, centered, self-controlled, and focused on his assignment. Pressure increases when you absorb emotions that aren't yours. Instead, do what Jesus did. Listen with compassion, respond with clarity, and hold your emotional ground. You lead the emotional temperature, not the people around you. 3. Jesus set boundaries even when people wanted more. Even under pressure, he said, "Not now. This is not for you. My time has not come yet. Let us go to another town. I must be about my Father's business." Pressure tempts leaders to overextend, overwork, and overgive. But Jesus refused to lead from depletion. Healthy boundaries are Christ-like. Burnout is not. So ask yourself, what is mine to carry? And what am I doing out of pressure instead of purpose? Number 4, Jesus stayed anchored in his identity, not in public opinion. Under pressure, people questioned his motives, his decisions, his authority, his timing, his leadership. But he never ever wavered. Why? Because his identity was rooted in his Father, not in the feedback. When your identity is secure in Christ, criticism doesn't crush you. Pressure doesn't break you. Opinions don't steer you. Fear doesn't silence you. And doubt doesn't swallow you. You lead from a place of conviction, not reaction. If this episode is speaking to you, if pressure has been pulling you out of alignment, if you've been questioning yourself, if leadership has felt heavier than usual, the imposter syndrome blueprint will help you. Lead with calm under pressure, stay grounded in Christ, silence the inner critic, set healthy boundaries, and make decisions with clarity instead of stress. Pressure doesn't have to defeat you. Let's the blueprint help you and strengthen you. Simply go to womenoffaithinleadership.com/blueprint to enroll now. In closing, the pressure you're feeling isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're leading. And Jesus has already shown you the way. Slow down. Stay centered. Set boundaries. And stay anchored in his identity. When you lead like Jesus under pressure, your leadership becomes unshakable, not because you're perfect, but because he is present. You got this. You can do this, okay? You can do this. It probably sounds easier than what it is, but I'm telling you right now, if you anchor your identity in Christ, these 4 things are so possible for you, just like they were for Jesus. Not because Jesus is the Son of God, but because you are also a child of God. And that if Christ could do that if God could do that and give that to Jesus, so much more he also wants to give that to you. I look forward to chatting with you in the next episode. Bye. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts? It would mean so much to me to read your feedback. Also, it would really bless me big if you shared this episode with a fellow leader who might benefit from hearing today's message. And remember, put on the armor of God daily and walk by faith and not by sight. I'll meet you back on Monday for another episode.